Hi, everybody, and welcome to Vanessa's Van Life Journey. I am taking you guys back to the beginning of how it started. This is the very day I bought my van. The very first day I bought my van. Got off the freeway, looked down, seen I was on E, and they had this box thing in the back of it. And I immediately drove to this guy's house that I knew that was in the neighborhood where I had to stop and get gas and get him to help me take this box out. So this is some heavy duty wood, you guys. And I paid him as soon as I got off the freeway and got the van the first day. So this is the first day that I got the van, you guys. I was so excited to have the van, you guys. I started right away. I didn't waste any time. I went to this guy's location and had them take the box out. It took about 45 minutes to an hour. They got it out. They kept the wood because it was some good wood, you guys, some thick, heavy wood. And then once they took everything out, I could see. I was saying in this clip right here, I could see where I'm going to put my kitchen, my bed, my living room. I could see everything, you guys. Once they took everything out, it just opened up the space. But as you can see, the van still had a lot of trash in it. It was still dirty. So just because you get a good deal on a vehicle doesn't mean that you are not going to have a lot of work to do. You're going to have more work to do on the vehicle that you get when you get it for really cheap, because 9 times out of 10, it is not in mint or perfect condition. When I bought this van, it had 270,000 miles on it, you guys. That is a lot of miles. I'm currently up to 300,000 miles. This was the very next day, you guys, after I had them take the box out. So I went somewhere so I can clean out the van. I was actually going to let them clean out the van, but then I was like, you know what? I actually was low on funds. I still needed to get my tax title and license. So I was like, let me do this work myself. When you are a solo van lifer, you guys, you're going to have to learn how to do everything yourself. Look at this seat, you guys. The driver's seat was totally demolished. They had tape on it, extra cushions on it. It was so dirty. I immediately had to come in here and just start cleaning. I got a good deal on the van, you guys, but that good deal came with a lot of work. So there was a trade-off to be made. And so you have to be up for everything that comes along with getting a vehicle at a cheap deal. Once I took all that junk off of there, then I exposed the seat, and eventually I had to change that seat out. And so in this instance, when you have a used vehicle and you need used parts, Pick-a-Parts is your best friend, you guys. If you don't know what Pick-a-Parts is, that's what we call it in Texas. It's a place, it's a junkyard where they sell used car parts. You go there, you pull your own parts, and they sell them to you. So this is the van, you guys, after I began to sweep all the trash out. I think this was like a coffee machine truck. I think they sold coffee out of this vehicle, or maybe served coffee at a business. I don't know. Look how dirty the water was, you guys. The water looked like coffee, you guys. And so I just began to, it was a lot of work, you guys. But again, if you want something enough, you're going to do whatever it takes to get it. And so I wanted van life. God blessed me with my van. It came with a van that wasn't perfect. It came with a van that needed a lot of work. It came with a van that needed a lot of sweat, blood, and tears. I had a lot of sweat, blood, and tears to give. So as you can see, this floor was nasty. This floor was filthy. I should have had on gloves, but I didn't. And I just took all day. And while I was out cleaning and working on my van, I don't know if this day I was set out and I had a garage sale. So you guys see how clean the van is going to look just from my sweat, blood, and tears. And that makes you feel proud, you guys, when you know you've accomplished something and you didn't have the money to buy your accomplishments, but your accomplishments came through sweat, blood, and tears. It still cost you something. Whether you do it yourself or whether you pay somebody, it's still costing you something because you paid for it through your sweat, your blood, and your tears. Here, the back of my van was leaking by the back doors, and so I didn't have any gaskets there. So again, I went to pick apart, and this is the pick apart. This is the junkyard. And I'm trying to find a van exactly like mine so I can pull the gaskets off. And this is a van that's like mine. So I'm attempting to pull the gaskets off. And I'm standing in line and paying y'all because guess what? I found it. I got it. And you know, sometimes when you go to the junkyard, you may not have all your tools. I didn't. I was just going to look. It was just a fluke, and just so happened that day it was like 40% off. I found my gaskets. I came back, and here I am putting my gaskets on. Like I said, I had a leak in the back, and I didn't know where the leak was coming from. And 9 times out of 10, it was coming from me not having gaskets back there, and not having those gaskets back there could let in a lot of air, a lot of moisture, and just draft as well. So immediately when I got the vehicle, I had to start my little DIY projects. Before I could start a van bill, I had to clean it out. Before I could start a van bill, I had to get gaskets. Before I could start a van bill, I had to figure out where all the leaks were coming from. And the advantage to sleeping in the van, especially when you buy a used vehicle, when you sleep in your vehicle, you will be able to tell whether or not it has leaks in it. And if you're in an area where it's not raining, go to a car wash. Go to a car wash. Let somebody else wash the outside of the car, spray the roof, spray everywhere, and then you sit in the inside and see if you have any leaks. You do not want to start your van bill with leaks in your vehicle. So I had to go to the junkyard. I had to spend money that I didn't have. And I had to try to stop the leaks. So I got that project out the way. And come to find out, after I got all the gaskets in and everything, I still had a leak. I didn't know where the leak was coming from until I actually stood up on top of the van to do the gaskets. Once I stood up on top of the van to replace the gaskets, I seen where another corporate, where a possible corporate of the leaks were coming from. So this is just me, you guys, taking my time, doing what I have to do, taking day after day after day, doing what I have to do to get my van to the place where I can start doing a van bill. But you guys, I really didn't plan on doing a van bill, so you will see that in a future video. You will see all of that footage in a future video. As you can see here, you guys, once I stood up on top of the van to replace my gasket, I noticed that my back rear light at the top on top of the van was cracked, and that's where water was also coming in. So I had to replace that. So of course I'm gonna have to go make another trip to the pick parts, because I called the dealership. These things were like over $100, maybe even $200. I don't even know, y'all, to buy it new from the dealership. So we couldn't afford to do that. So guess what, y'all? We had to go back to pick parts and find one of those lights and replace it. And because I'm a handy dandy woman, guess what? I went to pick parts and I got the part myself. Right around the corner from where I was located, there was a pick parts. So I came to this AutoZone, and I bought the gasket that I'm going to need to fill in the cracks. So I actually fixed this light in the parking lot of pick parts, you guys. You have to do what you have to do, you guys. As long as you are working on your vehicle somewhere and nobody tells you you have to leave, you try to get it in. And actually, one of the reasons why I had to work on this in the parking lot, because it was getting ready to pour down raining, you guys. I don't know if you could see the clouds behind me, but it was getting ready to pour down raining. So I was trying to get this fixed before it poured down raining. And luckily I did stop and go ahead and fix it there, because almost as soon as I left there, it started pouring down raining. But all of this was a part of the process. Even though I got the van for $1,300, I spent a lot of money fixing things that needed to be fixed, replacing things that were broken, and doing a lot of DIYs. Even though I spent money, I also saved a lot of money as well, doing all of these projects myself. And just to let you know, you guys, I don't have to know what I'm doing. I just know that some things are simple and easy and straightforward to figure out. Say, for instance, this light. This light is something that you just unscrew and then you just take it and fill it back in. So here as well, while I was at Pick Parts and I bought this light, this is the one that I replaced. I bought the light, and I also bought my side mirror so I could replace my side mirror as well. These are things that you just unscrew and pop back in and screw back in, even though it may be a little tedious. So I bought my other mirror. I went to Pick Parts, found another vehicle like mine, took the mirror off of that vehicle. You have to pull the parts yourself. So I took the piece off of the other vehicle, and I brought it back. And then now I'm going to have to take my door apart. And this took a little while because, like, I didn't know what I was doing. But I figured it out, how to take my door off. It's easy and it's simple. I end up taking it off. And I had to call for some backup because I needed a couple of more tools and stuff. But I end up taking it off and taking all day long. You know, when you don't have money, you guys, when you don't have money to pay somebody and you got all the time in the world, invest in doing it yourself, you guys. Invest in doing it yourself when you don't have nothing but time. I didn't have nothing but time. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the finances, but I didn't have nothing but time. And time, if you take the time, you will figure it out. And I figured things out. I took the time and they got fixed. And as you can see here, I replaced that mirror, baby. So it was one DIY project after another once I got the van, because the van wasn't in perfect condition, and it wasn't in perfect condition for what I needed it for. So I had to make some adjustments. So this is me inside the van. after I have cleaned it all out, you guys, and I was just working on the van every day, sitting out, having garage sales, sleeping in the van. This is me on the side of the road. I put a lot of the things inside my van, and I had that van jam packed. As you can see, all that stuff out there fit inside my van. So while my van is empty, you guys, I needed to use the van to go places, to sell stuff, so I can get the money to do the next project in the van. So it was very time consuming working on the van, doing the DIY projects, going out, sitting out somewhere on a street corner or a friend's house having a garage sale, and then getting some change to be able to put gas in the car, to be able to buy the next few things that you need to work on the van. And this is what I did. When you want something bad enough, you guys, you will do it whatever way you can. And when I tell you guys, start having a garage sale, start selling stuff, you know, I have to be willing to take my own advice. And I'm showing you here, this is what I did. Also, you guys, all of these videos are on the channel in my playlist called DIY, the full videos. I've chopped this up just showing you a little bit of everything. But if you want to see the full videos of how I went and took everything that I had, threw it in the van, and start having garage sales on the street corner. Look, this is a street corner, you guys. A busy intersection, a busy street corner. And some days I didn't sell nothing. And some days I sold $10. And some days I sold $15. But whatever I sold, it was a way for me to get rid of the stuff and get what else I needed. So you have to do what you have to do. You have to think outside the box. You have to have patience. You have to just do what you need to do. I don't know if you guys see that metal in the window behind me, but that window was broken out and it had metal in it. And I eventually had that grinded off and replaced that. But while I was out selling, I was sitting and talking to my subscribers. So next up, you guys, I got the bright idea to take the front seat out of the van. So I had a guy that was across the street from where I was. They had some tools and he came, unscrewed everything and took the seat out of the van. I think this was like in the first week or so. Maybe, I don't know. But it wasn't not long after I got the van, I decided to take the seat out. And then eventually, when I replaced the front seat, the mechanic talked me into getting another seat for that side, the passenger seat, which he talked me into it, you guys, but I had taken that seat out for a reason. And so he talked me into it, but eventually I took that seat out too. So don't let anybody talk you out of what you want to do, because then you're not going to be happy with it. And so even though I let the mechanic, it was still my decision, but I let him talk me into getting another passenger seat and put in there, even though this one that I'm taking out right now was nothing wrong with it. But I let him talk me into it, and I still end up taking it out and throwing it away and wasting money. So don't let people talk you into something that you've already made a decision that is right for you. I took this passenger seat out here for a reason, and eventually I put another one in and end up taking that one out for a reason. And now I have my little comfortable love seat sofa thing up front. So I got the seat out, and it freed up so much room for me to be able to just put stuff up front. I do still have those bolts right there up front. So just in case, I don't know, I give the vehicle to somebody, the bolts are still there if they want to put a seat back in. Now here, you guys, I had window tint on my windows, and it was so messed up that I couldn't even see out the windows. So I went on YouTube, looked at some DIY projects on how to take the window tint off
as you
yourself.
can see here,
when I watched the DIY take video on YouTube how to take the window tint off, as you can see here, it worked, you guys, and all it took was blood, sweat, and tears. It was hot as heck in Texas. You are supposed to take a plastic trash bag and put it on there after you spray the dishwashing liquid on there, you guys. But it was so hot in Texas, as you see with this next window. It was so hot in Texas. Once I started spraying the dishwashing liquid on there, I did not even need a trash bag. I didn't need a trash bag, you guys. It was so hot, it just started peeling off, you guys. So imagine how much somebody would have charged me. I know one day I went somewhere and I was at a car place, and the lady was asking how much to remove tint, and the man said like $100 to remove tint. Imagine me paying somebody $100 to remove my window tint when all I had to do was spray dishwashing liquid on it and let it get hot in the sun and pull it off. Like, that's something you can do yourself, and you could save that money if you are on a budget and you need the money for all the different things that you are going to have to do in your vehicle. Guess what? You don't have that money to waste or to pay somebody else. Do it yourself. If you want something bad enough, you guys, you're going to do whatever it takes. And like I said, and I'm going to continue to say, I didn't have money. I still don't have money, but I have something that's worth just as much as money, and that's I have valuable time, and I have the know-how, and I have the endurance to do it myself. So sometimes you need to stop focusing on the fact that you don't have the money, and you need to focus on the fact that you have something that money can't buy, and that's time. Your time is priceless, and you have time on your hands, so use that time to your advantage. So after I did all that hard work, you guys, like I say, I was sitting out having a garage sale, and this was my van at the beginning. I did not have vents in it. I did not have solar in it. I didn't have any conveniences in it. I didn't have lights in it. I got me some water. I put some water in an old crock pot pail, and I had my soap, and I took me a good old Vanlife bath. And look how much dirt I had on me, y'all. That's from hard work, sweat, and tears, and all that hard work and sweat and tears that you just seen me do. And that was just the beginning, you guys. That's just the prepping. That's just getting this old van ready to do van life, and making sure I had no more leaks in it, taking the tint off the windows so I could drive, because I could not see out those windows with that tint on it. It was so messed up. But it took sweat, blood, and tears. And after you sweat and bleed, you need to take a bath. Okay? Okay, you guys, I hope this video taking a trip down memory lane was helpful to you guys, especially to all my new subscribers, to show you where I've come from in this van, and just to let you know each and every one of the videos that I showed in this particular video, there are full videos to this in the playlist DIY, showing you how I did each and every one of these DIY projects. And there were valuable messages and things that I were talking about in those videos. So please, please, please go back and watch those videos and get more motivation and more encouragement from seeing me put the sweat, the blood, and the tears into what I have today. It only cost me $1,300 for this van, but it cost me more than that with sweat, blood, and tears. So you need to know what you're in for. Once you buy a vehicle that is a used vehicle, you're going to be in for a lot of hard work. And I want you to watch me do the hard work so you could be encouraged and know that you can do it. Again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you want to support the channel in any shape, form, or fashion, or contact me, all my information is in the description box below. You can click the little arrow underneath the video or the little down arrow if you're on a wireless phone, or you can click more and see all the information. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye now. Thanks for watching. Bird. Anybody do van life that have a bird? This dog is just running up to me. What does she want? What do you want? Stop! I could sit here all day, you guys. Beautiful. Say hey. Say hey. Hey. What you doing, Vanessa?